So you get to explore a string of tropical islands stretching 120 miles into aquamarine waters. Lucky you. Here are ideas to get the most out of your time in this tropical paradise. Let's start from Key Largo and work our way down to Key West. The most amazing thing you can do in Key Largo is a snorkeling or scuba day trip to Dry Rocks Reef inside John Pannekamp Coral Reef State Park. At the reef, you'll find an underwater statue known as the Christ of the Abyss. It is possibly the most famous underwater attraction in Key Largo. The top of the statue sits around 8 to 10 feet below surface, making it visible to snorkelers. But scuba divers get the best views. Snorkeling, scuba, and glass-bottom boat tours can be arranged through the state park. Powerboats, kayak, canoe, and paddleboards can also be rented for inland waters. When we went, we kayaked in the inland waters as the statue is still 6 miles offshore, too far away for a comfortable kayak trip. But we still enjoyed snorkeling by the shore of the park. The Keys are really best enjoyed on the water, but if you want to stay on land, there are trails in the park and a small beach that was packed when we were there on President's Day. One of our favorite places to eat in the Keys is Hobo's Cafe. The food is delicious, reasonably priced, and the portions are huge. We got calamari and seafood alpine. The seafood alpine alone was enough to feed 2 people. And it was delicious. So we ate at Hobo's Cafe and it was amazing. Seafood alpine was delicious. So we got an appetizer and an entree, but just the entree would have been enough for both of us. It was huge. That was really good. Definitely recommend it. In Islamorada, the thing to do is head out to a sandbar in the middle of the water and just chill. People boat out there and it's also possible to get to on kayaks like we did. We parked under the Snake Creek drawbridge, launched our kayaks from there, and made it to the sandbar. It's always a fun time to stand in shallow water in the middle of the ocean. It gets even more shallow towards the end of the day as the tide goes down. Just remember, if you take a boat out there, to push it out into the deeper water every hour or so. That way you don't get stuck. Another amazing kayaking day trip is to Indian Key Historic State Park. This was definitely one of the coolest things we did. Where else can you go and explore an abandoned island? Made it! Yay! Accessible only by water, Indian Key feels like you've stepped onto a heavenly land outside of time with all the butterflies floating around you as you wander down the pathways. We went on a Thursday and had the island all to ourselves to explore the entire visit. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss the video dedicated completely to this island as we dig deeper into the history and why it took us 2 attempts to get there. There's a bunch of construction cones where you could normally park. Usually it should be easy to launch a kayak, but everything's blocked off. Hopefully if you guys choose to come here, the construction will be over and it'll be just easy to park anywhere. So we're gonna check out Robbie's and see if we can drop off here. No public launching. We parked along the highway. There is construction going on now, but hopefully by the time you make it out here, the work will be completed and there will be more parking spots. We launched the kayaks from there too. A fun stop is Robbie's Marina. You can rent a boat or kayaks here to get to Indian Key or the sandbars, or spend some time watching the pelicans or ducks. You can buy cool souvenirs and grab some lunch. We ate at the Hungry Tarpon at the marina. The walls and ceiling are covered in dollar bills, and you get a nice view of the water. We had the blackened shrimp quesadillas. Next, we'll make a quick stop at Boca Chica just to watch the planes take off at the Naval Air Station. The loud sound of the planes as they take off over your head and out to sea is an exhilarating rush anyone will find exciting, even if you don't have an interest in aviation. When coming from north to south, just turn left on Boca Chica Road and drive all the way to the end and you're there. And finally, we arrived to Florida's southernmost point, Key West. We know that the Keys are not famous for their beaches, but we found that Smathers Beach is a great one, probably our favorite in Key West. Smathers has a long stretch of beach that gets raked every morning and beautiful palms. Plus, the waves are more calm here on this side of the island compared to the big waves at Zachary Taylor. Higgs Beach comes second, and Fort Zachary Taylor third, just because it's a rocky beach. We watched the sunset from the piers at Higgs Beach, and also Fort Zachary Taylor, which closes right after sunset. It does get pretty windy on the pier during sunset, so bring a sweater. But our favorite location to watch the sunset was at the Truman Waterfront Park, maybe because the sunset was particularly stunning that evening. The park itself has a big playground and splash pad for kids. It's perfect to ride your bikes to, as the parking is $4 an hour and is enforced all day from 8 a.m. to midnight. And that is the same all over Key West. My favorite way to get around in Key West is biking. Key West is super bike friendly, and it's a wonderful way to spend an evening biking around, catching glimpses of stunning historic homes hiding behind tropical foliage. Plus, you get to avoid that astronomical $4 an hour parking fee. We parked at our hotel and biked everywhere, to the beach and out to eat. A nice place to take a stroll is the Key West Historic Seaport. It's a harbor walk waterfront with restaurants overlooking the water and marina. It's a great atmosphere. We dined one evening at Alonzo's and got the mixed seafood grill. It was alright. Make sure to have key lime pie at least once during your visit. That's a must when in Key West. We grabbed ours at Kermit's original Key West key lime shop. Get the chocolate dipped key lime on a stick. It has the cutest little garden area, seating area in the back. And just this fountain and little pond and koi fish. It's just absolutely stunning. Just to come here and get a slice of pie and just sit here for a while and just enjoy it. There's Nick. These are the biggest koi fish I think I've ever seen. Look at that. I would recommend coming here just for this seating area, honestly. For lunch, make sure to get a Cuban sandwich. Key West does have a Cuban presence, as Cuba is only 90 miles away. There are many spots that serve the Cuban sandwich. We got ours at the Cuban Coffee Queen, and of course had to grab some iced coffee for the hot day. I also got a great idea to buy their packaged coffee as souvenirs for family back home. I think they'll enjoy that more than a keychain. We tried the Shanna Key Irish Pub and Grill for lunch one day since it was closest to Smathers Beach. It was pretty good. We took a half day to go kayaking in the mangroves of Key West. We launched our kayaks at the end of Riviera Street and headed out towards the bridge. You can enter the mangroves in any opening. It seems like you can get lost in all the little pathways, but they all lead back to the canal anyway. We are kayaking in the mangroves. One thing off your bucket list, right? Okay, I'm going into the bushes, so. Ah! Spider! It was my first time kayaking in the mangroves, and here were my thoughts. We just got back from kayaking in the mangroves in Key West. I would recommend everybody to try it at least once. It's a little bit not as exciting, but it was still as beautiful as I thought it would be. I don't know why I thought it would be like super exciting. You're just kayaking slowly through the mangroves. You have to take your time. One end of the paddle on one side, and then on the other end you're hitting a tree stem or a tree root or something, so you just have to take your time and just go slow and just enjoy the beauty, the sunlight dappling in and the beautiful roots. I'm literally stuck between spots.
You gotta pedal back.
Our favorite food spot of all was a cafe, La Crêperie French Cafe. We're like in our own little private seating area. Seems like it's a little table for two out here in the corner, surrounded by plants and the street. Really cute. They serve crepes for breakfast and lunch. We got the Benedict Galette and the red velvet crepe. Oh my! If you take anything away from this video, is that you must eat here. And of course, there's the famous Duval Street and the Hemingway House, the Key West Butterfly and Nature Conservatory, the Truman Little White House, West Martello Tower Garden, the Key West Lighthouse, the southernmost point buoy, and so much more. A noteworthy tip is when you should actually visit the Keys. Based on our experience of going to Key West in late May during the rainy season and in February during their peak season, I would definitely recommend to go in winter. Even though accommodation is cheaper during the rainy season, it is called the rainy season for a reason. When we were there in May for 3 days, it rained pretty much every day. November through February is the busiest season, but you can see why. The weather is beautiful. We were in the Keys for almost 2 weeks in February and not one rainy day. I hope our Ultimate Florida Keys travel guide gave you some ideas for your trip. Let us know what you end up doing in the Keys. Oh, and if anyone can say where this sign is, you will be our favorite. Please give this guide a thumbs up if you found it helpful. I mean, telling you about La Crêperie French Cafe is enough to make you love us forever. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you in the next one.